So first of all, I'm not a specialist or anything. I'm just a girl who has gone through eating disorders, and if you wanna know more about that, I'd suggest you to just watch my first video. But I never really got a proper medical diagnosis of these disorders. I just self-diagnosed, but I guess you could say that I obviously had anorexia, but I also think I had like orthorexia and vigorexia. So if you want to know more about the context of my story, just watch my first video. But anyway, I'm just gonna be giving some tips that helped me recover from my eating disorders, even though I don't consider myself to be 100% recovered, because in my opinion, you can never be totally free from that. I guess it's just something that you always carry with you, even if it's just a little bit. So yeah, I may help some people with these tips or may not. I mean, there are a bunch of other videos that out there in YouTube, so yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about what worked for me. So first of all, I'm not a specialist or anything. I'm just a girl who has gone through eating disorders, and if you wanna know more about that, I'd suggest you to just watch my first video. But I never really got a proper medical diagnosis of these disorders. I just self-diagnosed, but I guess you could say that I obviously had anorexia, but I also think I had like orthorexia and vigorexia. So if you want to know more about the context of my story, just watch my first video. But anyway, I'm just gonna be giving some tips that helped me recover from my eating disorders, even though I don't consider myself to be 100% recovered, because in my opinion, you can never be totally free from that. I guess it's just something that you always carry with you, even if it's just a little bit. So yeah, I may help some people with these tips or may not. I mean, there are a bunch of other videos that out there in YouTube, so yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about what worked for me. It's always best to just seek professional help if you do have the resources for that. It's always the best way to deal with stuff like this. But if you just have to deal with stuff by yourself, then yeah, I'm just gonna be telling how I dealt with it, my own personal experience. I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I'm just gonna say that at times I still have disordered thoughts. I still want to go on diets, on calorie deficit diets, because I feel like I need to lose fat, when in reality I should just focus on building muscle and then cut. So yeah, I'm just gonna be real that recovery is a ongoing process that you have to try to improve day by day. I also struggle with constant body dysmorphia, and I don't really eat processed foods like biscuits, because that's really something that my ED just made me repulse, and I really don't even miss it, but yeah, I just don't eat those types of things anymore. Food don't always need to be only nutrients and health. You can eat just to feel pleasure, or to enjoy like a restaurant or a new food or your culture. You know, that really just depends on every person. And yeah, I would really recommend for people that have really restricted themselves in the past to eating these foods, if they like them, if they miss them. I think that's really healthy and would really help with their recovery. Okay, so let's just get into the tips. Tip number 1 was asking myself, who was I doing that for? And I even remember to this day, it was during a shower. I was showering and I thought to myself, who am I doing this for? And I realized that it was for other people, when other people like didn't even care about what my body looked like. This is just for everything. Other people don't care about you as much as you think. They're thinking about themselves as much as you are thinking about yourself. So yeah, like, it was just so much suffering for like not enough validation, you know. Like, I didn't even look good. People looked at me like they pitied me, you know, like they were scared of me because I was so bony. And in my opinion, the only good part, I don't wanna say that extremely skinny bodies are like good and people should inspire themselves in them, okay? Just bear with me right now, okay? The only good part of my body was my waist, and I mostly just wore baggy shirts, so you couldn't even see my waist, and so the rest of me was just so bony. My arms, mainly my legs, it did not look good, and like, it was just too much suffering. And the reason why I had that epiphany during shower was because showering, like, it was winter time when I decided to recover. Showering was literally so painful, even though the water was like boiling hot. Like, the whole process, like, it just caused me so much pain. Like, I was making myself go through so much suffering. Like, it literally hurted so bad to literally just shower. So yeah, and I had to wear a bunch of coats during the day when it wasn't even that cold. But yeah, my body fat was just so low that I had to wear a bunch of like scarves and jackets, and I could not concentrate in class because I was so cold. So yeah, so that just made me want the best for myself, and the best for myself was not to freeze while showering because it was literally torture. So I realized that what I had to do was focus on myself, so that's what I did. I focused on what was really important in my life in that moment, which was studying for college entrance exams. So I recovered my like attention because I couldn't really focus with depriving my body of food and of over exercising like I was doing, and getting my body warm again because I was literally so cold that it was just affecting my whole well-being. Once I hit a certain weight, my body, it like started to get back to its normal temperature, and I also got my period back, which leads to the second reason why I decided to recover, which was me being scared of having osteoporosis. I think that's how you say it. And also becoming infertile, because even though I don't really wanna have kids, I didn't wanna become infertile, but like, to this day I have irregular periods, so that really just messed up my periods and everything. Another reason was just seeing the bigger picture. Like I mentioned before, I had to study for college entrance exams, so you gotta do the same for yourself. Like, what's important in your life? Is it studying for college? Is it working, taking care of a family member, or whatever? You just gotta like look into that and find something bigger than your disorder. And the last thing that led me to recover was realizing that I didn't actually look good, and like no one does, because you only look good in the eyes of like ill people. So no one should aspire to have that look, because like it only made me more unattractive. Honestly, like being like bony like that only looks good, I mean good, in the eyes of the sick people in like sub Twitter. But anyways, you realize that they always use pictures of like Asian, European attractive girls, because that's like what inspires people the most, which absolutely shouldn't, because yeah, no one should aim to have those types of bodies. But you know, I'm not saying that it looks good on anyone. No, it doesn't look good on anyone. I'm just saying that there is a certain stereotype, you know, there's a certain like pattern that you gotta have in order to be as acceptable, even though when it's extreme, like it really doesn't look okay in anyone. But I'm not saying that, okay, don't take me wrong, I'm not saying that it looks good. I'm just saying, you know, in the world of disordered people. So yeah, like it just made me more unattractive. It wasn't giving coquette Lana Del Rey, it was just giving malnutrition. And obviously everyone should accept themselves at a healthy weight, but you know, when you immerse yourself in these social media platforms that praise being extremely skinny, it just takes a toll on you, and you want to be that way. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing, but you know, it was just to share my story. It wasn't supposed to be a tutorial or a guide that is 100% like 100% safe, that it's gonna make you recover. You know, that's just a personal thing, that everyone should find their own ways to recover and live healthy and happy.